At the second you say 안녕하세요. 한국어 너무 잘해요. 어떻게 이렇게 잘해요? And then they treat you so differently.
Summer in Korea versus winter in Korea. 3, 2, 1.
Winter. You like sweating?
You like to be dead in your bed?
But summer in Korea is so bad.
Even if you see the people who are eating the buldak ramen, they're like,
Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna die within 2 seconds. So I just run and then.
that's my favorite advice to give anyone. Hello everyone, welcome to our very first episode of the Alien Confession. As you know, on our registration cards, we're actually known as aliens, and living in Korea can sometimes feel like you're on another planet. But today, for our very first episode, we're going to talk about what it's like to live in Korea and survive, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce two of my favorite aliens. We have Bella and France.
Hi. Hi everyone. My name is France. I'm from France. I've been living in Korea for 4 years now.
Hi everyone, my name is Bella. I'm from the US and I've been living in Korea for 8.5 years now, 9 years.
Ooh. So I'm sure we probably had a lot of unrealistic ideas about Korea before we moved here. There's a lot of delusional people out there before coming, but living in Korea, there's always good parts, there's always bad parts, but we're gonna break some of these biggest myths down and we're gonna debate them. Come on guys, bring the energy!
Yeah.
So here are the 5 myths that we're gonna talk about today. Start with number 1. Every Korean is a buldak master.
I would say yes.
No.
Really?
Not at all.
I feel like
It's because she doesn't eat spicy.
She can't even eat a piece of kimchi without getting a little spicy.
Really?
Even if you see the people who are eating the buldak ramen, they're like,
Yeah.
But they
gotta-
still eat the whole thing.
yeah. But I feel like it's more of like a confidence thing. It's like, yeah, I can eat it.
Yeah, I'm Korean.
Give me
I can
a
eat
roll
that.
of toilet paper and I can finish it.
Yeah. Obviously, they're good with spicy because they've
Yeah.
been trained, but they're not as good as you would think.
You know, foreigners, when they come to Korea, they're like, oh, this might be a little too spicy for you, which I get all the time. But I grew up eating spicy food. Sometimes when you order things in a restaurant, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll take the spicy one. And they're like, oh, it's a little too spicy. No, give me the spicy one, please. But I think it's very much a stigma that Koreans are very good at eating spicy food, when I myself know for a fact I eat more spicy food than most Koreans around me.
Yeah.
Really, Shada? Shada doesn't eat spicy food. What? Okay, next question.
She's trying to make problems
Next
for the
question.
draft. Number 2, can you leave your laptop, your phone, any of your devices like left out on a cafe table and not have to worry about someone snatching them?
My favorite thing about Korea, so safe.
I'd say the most realistic.
Yeah, I love this one.
I think it really depends where you are. Because I think if you're in a cafe, there's like CCTV, so it's quite relatively more safe to leave your things out. But if you're like, I think recently I saw on TikTok, like a guy left his backpack like outside a convenience store and it got stolen.
I saw that.
But
They
that
brought
is
it
crazy
back.
though.
So everyone in Korea is dressed top, high fashion, K-drama, K-oppa, sexy all the time.
I'll say Koreans, they dress very well. When you first said it, I was like, oh, okay, like that actually sounds like Korea. And then suddenly you came like K-pop idol. I never seen any Korean dressing like a K-pop idol. It's more foreigners, they tend to dress like K-pop idols a little more, like, you know, like this big choker or like blue hair and these kind of things. But Koreans are just very proper, I think, very minimalistic.
A lot of Koreans really like to fit into, like they don't like to leave the crowd.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
wants to wear like neutrals, blacks, grays. They don't want to stick out from each other. Versus like if you go to places like Hongdae, that's
Yeah.
where all of like the extravagant people tend to have like super like crazy colored dyed hair, or they have like more eccentric type clothing.
But you can see it in the winter when everyone is wearing like long padding. It's always either black or white. They're always sold out. And then you go to whatever store and you have like those red, blue, yellow ones and then like 80% off. Like, why that? Oh, they hate colors. Okay.
Yeah, I think Koreans really look at how people perceive them. So dressing well is definitely on like top importance for people. So I would definitely agree that.
Most Koreans are fluent in English.
Ooh.
Nope.
I feel like Koreans understand English quite well, but when it comes to speaking, it's a different story.
I think it's like a confidence thing.
Yeah.
I went to school at a Korean high school as well. The English that a lot of Koreans learn in school is not good English. It's complete, like random words that regular people who speak English will never use in their entire life. And if you've seen like the Sunung, the test for college entrance exams, the English makes no sense. It's very difficult. K-drama love stories happen to everyone and their mamas.
I wish I could live in a K-drama love story.
The first 2 dates, they're gonna be like K-drama. They're gonna be like da 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 da, and then you'll see the real thing.
Unrealistic romanticizations that people have about Korea because of like K-dramas and stuff like that. But a man is a man no matter where you go.
Yeah,
So-
and if you want to be blind, you'll stay blind.
I'll wait for my rich mother-in-law to offer me a couple $1 million and then I'll leave her son real quick. Between 1 to 5, which one of these is the biggest myth?
I'll go with number 5.
I'd also have to say number 5 is our biggest Korean myth.
Yeah, be careful.
Okay, so we've had some fun talking about delusions and stuff like that, but let's get a little bit more serious and talk about the realities of living in Korea and what it's like to survive and be here as a foreigner. What shocked you the most when you moved to Korea and that made you have that kind of like, what moment, you know? Did you guys have any of those culture shocks for you?
When I came here and like went to the bathrooms, and then there are like different stalls, but all of the stalls were like taken. So I kind of like went to like the end stalls and there was like a squat toilet.
Squatty potties?
I just didn't understand that people would still use a toilet like that, and I kind of still don't know.
Maybe like the patience. You know, when they're waiting for buses and subway, they're always like waiting in line. Everything is so organized. Or like when they have to cross the street, they actually wait for the little man to turn green. Do you know, guys, I actually got caught by the police once.
She's a criminal.
She's got a record.
I was waiting, it was 3 a.m. And then I was so pissed because it takes ages to turn green. So I was waiting and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna die within 2 seconds. So I just run and then police coming. And they're like, oh yeah, your identity, blah, blah, blah. So I could play the very foreigner card. Like, 한국어, Korean, no. And they're like, paper, like passport, no passport, stolen. And
I don't advise this for people coming to Korea, by the way. Don't take this advice.
yeah.
She's a criminal.
And then they say, okay, next time, no. I say, okay, sorry. And then I left.
Jaywalking is a huge, like you will get caught in Korea for jaywalking.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Don't jaywalk. It's a crime.
It's dangerous, guys.
It is dangerous. So now that you've settled in, what's your favorite parts and the lifestyles of living in Korea?
I would say Korea is such a convenient country. Like, it's crazy how efficient and accessible things are. Like delivery of things.
Oh yeah.
Or like getting the things you want, whether it's like clothes or food.
In Korea, everything is just same day delivery like that. Or just like you buy it by like 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it'll be there by the next morning, 6 a.m.
I also gained so much weight because of that. First year in Korea, I was like, oh my god, delivery is so nice. So like they will have the like donuts thingy. It was literally down the street. I could walk there.
You paid out it from
And
down
I
the
paid at
street?
it every single time. But you know when you pay at it, it's like you have to order minimum like 15 whatever.
Yeah,
So I was
that's
like,
how
you
they
know what?
get
I'm
you.
just gonna order 15, and then I will eat those like
$15
15,000
50,000 won versus of
of donuts, and I will eat that every single time. First year, gained 15 kilos.
Because you tell yourself, I'll just eat 1 or 2 and save the rest for later.
Yeah, no,
And
there's
then
no
feel-
later, guys. There's no later.
5 donuts
That day.
5 minutes later. Okay, so we're not visitors in Korea anymore. We lived here. We have our day-to-day lives, right? So let's talk a little bit about like when you really started to feel like you were one of the locals and not just a tourist.
I guess like one of my very first trip in Asia, and then when I actually took my flight back, it was not to France, it was to Korea. It felt kind of weird. I was like, oh, I actually live here.
True that. True that.
Yeah.
Leaving Korea and feeling homesickness for Korea.
Yeah. And you're like, oh yeah, I want to come back and eat the kuppap. And then
But now, like every time I go back home, I get reverse culture shock. So let's move on to our honest opinions, okay, guys? And talk a little bit about like if your friends want to move to Korea, what is some advice you would give them and how would you guide them along with that process?
come prepared, but not with too much expectations.
That's my favorite advice to give anyone. Have zero expectation. If you ever travel, ever go anywhere, zero expectations is the best.
Yeah, and please don't go to Hongdae the first day you come to Korea. Don't rely too much on what people recommend on TikTok. Actually, my favorite place that I really love It's not super crowded, and it's like quiet, and there are like a lot of like hidden spots is like Yongsan and like Hangnam area. Really good places to eat and really good places to like hang out without too much of a crowd and too much chaos. So
And there's also a bunch of places you can visit in Korea that's not just Seoul. Experiences that it's not like super touristy and you can really just enjoy the time. I know you probably heard it 1,000,001 times from your mamas, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters. You gotta learn Korean.
yeah.
If you want to make friends, you want to survive in Korean society, you want to actually be able to make a community here, you have to be able to speak the language. Even if it's not perfect at first, don't be afraid to sound stupid.
The second you say 안녕하세요, they're like,
yeah.
한국어 너무 잘해요. 어떻게 이렇게 잘해요? And then they treat you so differently.
Also, 꿀팁, join activities and groups on 소모임. It's community group meetings that you can have weekly. So if you like basketball, board games, you just want to go out and have good dinner, have a couple of drinks and stuff, they're the best things ever. You make the bestest of friends in your neighborhood, and it's just, if you're looking for a way to get out of your house and not be trapped and meet locals, 소모임.
My best friend in Korea for like the very first years I was in Korea was the random ajumma from the tteokbokki chip next to my house.
It's always the ajumas or ajushis that work in the stores around you.
Yeah.
They're the bestest.
There's so many like misconceptions about Korean elders in like on TikTok and all that they are mean and rude ajumas and blah blah. Maybe because of K-drama or whatever. But they're so nice.
So we've talked a lot about our different stories and stuff like that. Let's see if our brains are actually in sync now. We're gonna play a little game. I'm gonna say 2 words and you guys have to try to match them. You have to get 5 out of 10, and if you don't, you buy me lunch. Kimchi jjigae, doenjang jjigae. 3, 2, 1.
김치찌개.
Bang! Han River versus Mountain View. 3, 2, 1.
Han River.
Jeju Island versus Busan. 3, 2, 1.
Jeju.
You're not having lunch today.
Yeah, my stomach growl. K-drama versus K-pop. 3, 2, 1.
K-drama.
Yeah. Summer in Korea versus winter in Korea. 3, 2, 1.
Winter.
France.
Bella! You like sweating?
You like to be dead in your bed.
But summer in Korea is so bad.
She doesn't sweat
It's
as much
better
as
than
we
winter.
do. Soju and makgeolli or soju and beer? 3, 2, 1, go.
Soju and 막걸리.
Pyeongjong versus delivery. 3, 2, 1.
Delivery.
You're buying us lunch today.
That was not a part of the stipulation.
식사 한번 사주세요.
I'm the maknae. Shouldn't you guys be buying me?
내가 막내인 외국인 life.
We're not in Korean life, we're in Korean life. Let's go ahead and give a huge thank you to Bella and friends for coming on for our first episode of the Alien Confessions.
So definitely, if you've enjoyed this first episode of our Alien Confession, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments.
What other things you're curious about? Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.